Good morning. How's everyone doing? I have a very exciting live stream for you guys, as is every single live stream. Today, surprise, surprise, we're going to talk about decentralized science. We're going to talk about the broader crypto markets. We're specifically going to focus in on what may happen in the next couple hours, given that the first interest rate cut of this interest rate cut cycle is beginning. Now, right now, the market is very split on whether this will be a 0.25% or a 0.5% interest rate cut. I don't think it matters. I think the outcome is going to be pretty much the same. We'll touch on that in a few minutes. Right now, let's go through some of the market. Let's take a look at what happens historically when interest rate cycle cuts begin. And let's address how everyone is doing this morning. So what's good, Zach? What's good, Johnny? Happy to have you guys in here. I'm happy. I'm hyped up. The DeSci market is holding up pretty good. We saw some crazy rallies over the last 3 or 4 days, and to only be down 0.2% when it looks like right now Bitcoin is currently getting rejected off of that trend line that we had drawn in from a couple live streams ago. It's very exciting to me. However, it should be a little bit concerning to see how powerfully we are getting rejected right now. And now all of you guys are fully aware of this, right? But we follow the NASDAQ for the most part. Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is just technology. And the NASDAQ right now is also starting to round out and head lower, which is telling me that in the immediate short term, what's good, DeSci? Happy to have you in here, my man. In the immediate short term, I do think that the interest rate cut that is coming in just an hour, or I think it's 2 hours. Let me reload this. In 1 hour, 55 minutes, when we do see the interest rate cut, I do believe that the market's going to come down because everyone is hoping for this to add some clarity, and it's just not. We're not going to get any clarity from this. The interest rate cut is not going to solve anything. They're going to have to initiate some sort of a cycle down lower. And I think if they cut by 0.25% interest rate, people are going to be like, why are you downplaying this recession? And if they cut by 0.5%, people are going to be like, why are you so afraid of this recession? So I personally don't think any result from this is going to help the markets immediately. I think all it's going to do is allow people to look forward for a minute and realize that we're still not out of the woods yet. Hashtag Taylor Swift voting for Kamala. Very interesting endorsement, but not to get off topic with that. That's of course just my opinion, but I think it's validated. I mean, we can also go look at some evidence from previous rate cut cycles and address that, but I would just want to showcase to you guys immediately, I don't think it's going to be that great of a move. Now, that's unfortunate for those of us holding things like Axon. However, Axon's functioning a little bit independent of everything else. $6 Axon Dow incoming 2025. I would have to agree with you, Johnny. Truthfully, the movements here, in the short term at least, don't really matter to my long-term bags. Even though I think we'll see some downward momentum in the markets after these decisions and in the rest of this month, so the next 2 weeks, I don't plan on dumping all of my long-term bags. Like, I'm not in any trade positions right now. I'm not in any super speculative things, in my opinion, and that includes my DeSci portfolio and my Noble Blocks and all of that stuff. And now I was teasing in the Discord a Noble Blocks update, so if you guys can stick around for a little bit and hit that like button on the live stream, I will give you guys a little bit of that insider info that I don't think I was supposed to share, but I'm going to share anyways because that's just kind of my motto here. What do you guys think? You guys are obviously all watching for this rate cut. What do you guys think is going to ensue from it? Now, personally, okay, I've been paying close attention to the 2-year, 10-year spread on the interest rates from the Federal Reserve and the United States bond market. Now, this has been inverted for 2+ years, and so everyone's kind of used to it. But if you look at the correlation, what has been happening, every time the yield is attempting to uninvert or is softening, like every time we're going back to normal, this line here, right, the spread between, every time it goes closer to positive, we tend to go down in the market. And when it softens and inverts more, we tend to go up, which is counterintuitive, but it's a delay signal. So the longer that they can delay it, meaning the longer we stay inverted, the longer we have for this bull run to continue, right? So it's kind of counter what you might think, but that's just been the trend that we're seeing. And so what is going to happen when they cut interest rates? When they cut interest rates, They do that by controlling the bond market. And so the 2-year side of this is going to drop, which will drastically uninvert the yield curve. All right, is everyone following? If they cut the 2-year, then the top number of this spread gets reduced, meaning that it goes super positive. Am I making sense with that? Even if I'm not, just understand that's what's going to ensue. By cutting rates, we uninvert rapidly. And so that is not usually great for the market. That scares the market. That frightens everyone. And so with those reasonings, I believe this is not going to be the greatest 2 weeks. Yeah. My brain is rallying like crazy because I had a very exciting meeting with Shelly from BLOX earlier today. And if you guys can get us, how many people are watching? We're at 9 concurrent viewers. So if you guys can get us to 9 likes on the live stream, I'm going to say 10. If we get to 10 likes, I will share that insider info from BLOX and what I'm so excited for that is finally coming to fruition. So make sure you guys just hit that like button. Exit out of the chat if you need to, turn the phone sideways if you need to, hit that like button, and we'll give you guys some good alpha here. I am going to the 1-month chart on Bitcoin, and I am sliding the scale over. Then I'm going to take a sip of water. I'm going to remind you that tomorrow is the DeSci raid day. We still have to pick a chat to raid. Like the video, boys. Let's go. Let's go, Talker Raid. Yeah, Zach, let's go. Appreciate the support, Don. Like or not going to make it. I happen to agree. So this is the price of Bitcoin. This is on a monthly chart. So each candle is 1 month. This is the federal funds rate or the interest rate in the United States. Okay. We only have 1 cycle to look at for this because we've only had 1 other period in Bitcoin's history in which we've had rate cuts. And that is back in 2019. So in 2019, we saw the first rate cut in August. And what happened is Bitcoin had already topped 2 months before that back in June. So we had June, July, and then August, the first rate cut happened. And Bitcoin trended sideways and down, okay? You can see that pretty clearly. Bitcoin had already topped, and by the time we got that rate cut from peak to where the average of the candle was, Bitcoin was already down 20-30%. And then Bitcoin continued to fall it fell all the way down to 54%. So another 25%. We were halfway through that movement when we had the rate cut. We started to rebound. We started to come out of that, right? And we kind of broke that downtrend. And then COVID happened and we saw that flash crash and we saw the immediate cutting of rates on a Sunday, which was wild. An emergency rate cut on a Sunday, which was just literally, we lost all control, had to go crazy. So we saw that flash crash. So I'm not counting it in that little analysis. Right now, what we're looking at is the market has already bottomed, or the market already topped back here in March. And we've actually had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're in the middle of the 7th month of us chopping down, and we're already down 19% from the top. We're about to get the first rate cut in an hour, and that, according to the last cycle, has signified the halfway point in the downward momentum. I don't know that this time is going to be entirely the same because we have already had so much time to price in these rate cuts, right? That makes sense. And unless we have some sort of flash crash like COVID, doesn't mean we have to immediately tank down. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of data to look at when it comes to Bitcoin. So one of the things that I was looking at earlier before the live stream was comparing it to the NASDAQ. Because again, Bitcoin is a tech stock essentially. And so taking a look at the NASDAQ and how it has performed based off the rate cuts can kind of give you an inclination as to what Bitcoin might do now that it's more developed. And last cycle in 2019, when we saw the first rate cuts, what the NASDAQ did was continue to go up. It was very volatile in that month, right? So we had an 8% correction in that month, which is not something that happens super common. But in the month that they cut rates in 2019, we saw an 8% correction in the NASDAQ, right? That makes sense? Everyone's following that. And then following that, we saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months of upward momentum. So we saw 6 months of upward momentum where the NASDAQ went up another 31% from where it bottomed in the month at which the rate cuts happened. Make sense? You guys are following my thesis here, my idea, or just not even my idea. This is what happened. This is just the facts. We will continue to go up this time. Rate cuts have been priced in. I would agree that rate cuts have been priced in. However, rate cuts aren't going to solve anything. The rate cuts are going to be very much benign right now. Cutting by 0.5% doesn't do anything to what is already starting to unravel in the economy. So I do think we could continue to rally like we did in 2019 in the NASDAQ, where we went up 31% before we had that little flash crash from COVID. But we still have to kind of wait and see. If we go back to the time before that for rate cuts, back in the .com or the '08 housing crisis, right? What happened to the NASDAQ there? Well, when we had rate cuts, the first month in which we had a rate cut, we saw a 16, almost 17% flash crash in that month on the NASDAQ, which is a crazy, crazy crash. From there, we rallied for a total of 3 months, we rallied 35%. So the same type of a rally, it was just consolidated down into a 3-month period instead of a 6-month period. Make sense? BRB making a new YouTube account so I can like the video. LOL Don. I mean, I can go like the video. If you guys get to 9, I'll be the 10th like, I promise. I'll be the 10th like. I want to share the information with you guys. I'll make it happen. But we saw the 35% rally. So after rate cuts started in the '08 housing crash, in the '08 cycle crash, we saw 3 months of a 30% return from the bottom of the month in which we saw the rate cuts. Got it? Let's go back to the cycle before that, because this is where it's different. In the .com bubble, which is as far back as we can go with the NASDAQ, what we saw is that the market had peaked in March of 2000 and had a pretty large crash. Over the span of 2 months, while rates were still going up, we saw a 50% crash in the market. Now this is interesting because we were in a tech bubble, and what the Fed was doing was raising rates to cool that tech bubble off. And so in this scenario, rates were being used as a tool to bring down the overvaluation of these stocks of the tech market. And that worked pretty successfully. And we saw the peak almost a year before we got the first rate cut, because that's what their goal was to crush the tech companies with higher rates. So it just became harder to take out free money and make speculative assets. In the housing crisis, they needed to ease up on the economy, right? In the housing crisis, they had been too loose with everything, and they needed to, or they'd been too loose. They created a bubble and they needed to crack down on everything. They cracked down too hard, and then they needed to be very loose when everything started going bankrupt. This was a reactive moment, not a creative moment, right? They created the problem here, they reacted to the problem here. In the 2019 one, this was them reacting to stuff. This was them starting to see problems in the overnight repo market, so they started cutting rates, and then COVID. So they were starting to react again, which is why I think we started to continue to rally. And right now they've also been reacting. So they raised rates to cool inflation. They didn't raise rates to bring prices down of these assets to cool the market. They raised them to cool inflation. Now they've overdone it, and they're starting to loosen back up again, which is why I do think that we can see some sort of a rally from this for at least a couple months before, hopefully we get a nice 6-month period before we see some big crashes. But that's kind of my thesis with it. Basically, all this to say, when they cut rates, I think we tank today. But I'm not entering any trades like that because it's purely volatile speculation. I think all that we're going to see is an extremely volatile market. And I know that's not like super happy for you guys to hear, but it's the truth. I know you wanted concrete answers, but the truth is that the Federal Reserve doesn't even know what's going on or what they're doing right now. So how am I supposed to tell you what's going on or what to do right now? Basically, they're going to cut rates. It's not going to change anything. We're still going to be in a rough economy that is still somehow growing on a GDP basis, but the labor market is starting to weaken, and cutting rates one time is not going to change that. It is going to allow people to start looking at what's to come next. And next we have earnings season starts to happen. We have some more economic data. We have the election, and then we're going to get another Fed meeting. So I'd pay attention to what they're saying and indications on if they're going to hold here or if they're going to continue to cut every meeting for the foreseeable future. I have a feeling they're going to say they're going to hold though. Let's go, Six Figs. Hey, let's go. We got a celeb in the chat right now. Believe it or not. One of the co-advisors on Kong Swap. Let's go. If you guys aren't following him, you definitely should be. He puts out some amazing ICP content. Amazing content as a whole. Let's go. That's my 2 cents on it. Looking at like the micro right here on Axon, after Axon had this crazy rally over the last 2 or 3 days, we're holding very strong at the top of this zone. If we don't get a breakout in the next hour, again, I think that we're probably going to see some selling pressure from the rate cuts happening. We'll see. It's going to be fun regardless. And ultimately, no matter what happens, I'm not touching my long-term portfolio for DeSci, because looking at these prices, I still think it's disgustingly undervalued for each and every one of these. Like I got literally, let me go ahead and check out the YouTube and we'll see. All right. I'll be the 10th like on the YouTube live stream. That way I can tell you guys the information about Noble Blocks that I've been holding into. Please don't play anything. All right, well, I don't see how you guys see that 10 likes. All I see is 9, which means one of you trolls took it back. You guys don't want to hear the Noble info? I don't have to say it. You'll find out eventually. I'm just trying to help out a little bit beforehand. Stop. 10 watching. Come on, get that last like. Come on. Noble Blocks. I had a call this morning with Shelly, and I have another call tomorrow morning with Shelly and several other people. Can you chill? Can you chill? There's going to be other people on that call tomorrow morning. Those people are going to be crazy influential for Noble Blocks. Not only acknowledgement of the platform, but more importantly, use of the platform. I don't think it gets more bullish than that. Oh, let's go. Oh, let's go, baby. Let's go. We're at 12. Let's go. So there is a series of, there's a few podcasts that are very big in the world of medicine and health and PhD holders, students, academics, the academic sphere. Not Andrew Huberman, although I wish it was, but someone who is large in Canada. And the meeting tomorrow is to orchestrate a collaboration between Noble Blocks and this large-scale community of researchers. That is all I can say in this given moment. But if you've been paying attention, the person who is organizing it, the person who is head of this large-scale podcast and social media agency and everything for these researchers is in all of the chats that we have. They are a community member among us. Shit, should we go play Among Us? They are there. And so this not only is going to bring awareness of Noble Blocks, but can very aggressively bring the users to the platform, the true users to the platform. And the platform again is going live in October, so long as Delroy maintains his word. So we got 4 to 5 weeks for this platform to go live. and this collaboration to take place. I know, yeah, it's a big announcement to be coming from this. Once we start seeing the actual content come out from it and the collaboration take place, I would not be surprised to see some aggressive moves in Noble, similar to what Axon is seeing, however, on a different scale, because Axon was already sitting down here at like a $20 million market cap, and it went to a $40 million market cap. So I'm saying similar to the sense of Axon in the millions, not in percents. So Noble sitting at a $2 million market cap. After everything is actually live and functional, I would not be surprised to see Noble sitting up there at the $20 million market cap as well. So we're looking at a 5 or 6 cent Noble blocks, back to the time long ago before the hack, an era in which we were all such happy-go-lucky people. Bring us back to Valhalla. We were already there. Bring us back. And that is truthfully, yeah, that's not a far cry. That is a $20 million market cap. That is a baby of a project, and it is going to become one of the most used platforms in all of decentralized science if everything goes smoothly. So shout out the team at Noble Blocks. Shout out everything that's been going on behind the scenes. I know it's been painful, but the pain, the wait is finally coming to an end. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Hopefully you guys can see it as well. Don't tell anyone that I said all of this to you though, please, because there's only a few people in here and I'd like to maintain some internal integrity. You guys get it because you're here consistently. You guys get this information because you will also be showing up tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I have a very exciting live stream tomorrow because we're going to be raiding a different chat. We're going to be raiding Telegram. Whistleblower. Sound the alarms. No. Mods, get Dawn out. Get Dawn out of here. Mods, please. I can't have this. You guys already tweeted it? What the? No, I'm just kidding. Tomorrow we're doing the DeSci raid, so we're going to take our efforts, just like Noble Blocks and Delroy has a responsibility to everyone in the industry to build out the platform and deliver the platform, and people like Shelly have a responsibility to spread the good word of Noble Blocks and onboard the scientists. We have a responsibility to let everyone else, let retail know what's going on. And so tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, like we go live every single Monday through Friday, we are going to be doing a DeSci community raid. He ain't even here. Derek, damn it, Derek. The one time I needed you, you were gone. So we have to pick the community. I can pick it if you guys don't have any ideas. I'll go looking for some communities to raid, and collectively we will go organically talk about our favorite DeSci projects and make people aware of the progress that has been happening in this space. Everyone has a role to play, and we will be playing that role. I'm very excited for it because on top of that, you guys have been asking for the story on how I met Amanda and how we began our relationship, and she said that she will come on tomorrow and talk about it. So before the raid, we will talk about the cool little intro story. As you guys know, she works at TikTok, so it is quite the funny moments. We need to raid DeSci Doc. He's not even live, Zach. DeSci Doc has deceased his doc. That was stupid. I'm sorry. I apologize. Let me score myself out. We need to find an active community. We must find him. What if tomorrow all we did on the live stream was try and reverse engineer and find this man's IP address? We just spent an entire hour collectively trying to find out who this guy actually is. Watch it be Brian Armstrong. It's CZ. It's CZ. That would be the most wild change of events. That would be insane. His engagement's crazy. It's probably because I look at it twice a day. If it was actually Brian or CZ, I'd lose my shit, dude. I would lose my mind. Yeah, 4 days left until you can no longer claim your bio. So if you haven't claimed it, go claim it. Highly recommend you go claim it. I'll put the link in the chat right now so that you guys can go claim. I'm not going to go to the For You page though, because I made that mistake once. Let's go take a look at some of the other DeSci projects that are holding up strong or starting to tank. So we got Data Lake down 6.9%, still holding up from the pump that we saw yesterday, but having a little bit of a retracement again. It's just that that pump was so much. It went up 65% in 2 days. So a 7% retracement is not a crazy amount to be coming back. I don't really care about Vita right now. Research Coin, it's a Brian Armstrong's project, down 6.7% today. However, kind of still just holding around, chopping in this range that we have. It's been range bound for a while now. So we were above, now we're below. We're just in between these two. We're in the channel. So definitely healthy. It's definitely nice to see us building out more and more support so that when we go on that crazy run and come back down, we don't have to worry about breaking below any of the levels that we're at right now. You know, we'll have cemented some growth from the cycle. Again, Research Coin is sitting at a $22 million market cap, so now it's half the size of Axon Dow. We go look at Gene, although I don't think I can just type in Gene anymore. Genomes. It's not either of these. I don't even think it's this one technically either, but where is it? There it is. Genomes Dow, currently sitting at an extremely small valuation. Fully diluted market cap of 7 million. Very, very tiny. We got the one I had a dream about the other day, which I just found out. Did you guys know this? Come on, Patrick. Rejuve. Did you guys know that Rejuve AI, the DeSci project that I have not given any attention to in its entire existence, which thankfully not, because it does not look like I would have, like it's not done much. It's down 35% from the time it launched. Did you know that the co-founder of Rejuve, let's see if you guys notice this. Let's see if you guys can tell me who this man is that I'm gonna pull up. Do you guys recognize this guy? Dr. Ben Gortzel. Sorry for butchering your name. Who here recognizes this person on the right? Damn it, where is he? This guy. Not Steve Jobs. Although he does look like Steve Jobs. I'm playing. Who recognizes him? I do, but only because he told us yesterday. Derek, now you're here. Dawn was harassing me. And the mods were nowhere to be seen. So this guy, recognized as the father of artificial general intelligence, Ben is distinguished visionary in the biotech realm with an illustrious career. He's authorized over 25 books and published more than 150 research papers. Instrumental in the development of one of the pioneering open science AI frameworks dedicated to AGI research and development, he was collaborated with esteemed institutions such as the NIH and the US CDC, leveraging AI to unravel the genetic underpinnings of various diseases. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the crypto project that he is one of the founders of. And let me see if you guys recognize it. How many of you guys have heard of Artificial Superintelligence Alliance? You guys remember Singularity Net? I do. I remember this. The lead singer of ZZ Top, Ozzy Osbourne. My God. I had a meeting that wouldn't end. Yeah, whatever, man. Whatever. I think I recognized Dobby on the left. You guys are ruthless. Leave these people alone. Yeah, Dr. Ben here is the CEO and one of the co-founders of Singularity Net, which has formed an alliance with Fetch and Ocean to create that Artificial Superintelligence Alliance, or whatever the hell they call it. I said Debbie, not Dobby. Whatever, man. I read Dobby. Where's Debbie from? Well, now I feel guilty. So this is just an interesting thing to pay attention to, because Singularity Net here was a $700 million market cap. They merged to create a $3.3 billion market cap, but he's gone on from Singularity Net. He's still working there, I'm sure, but now he's also working with Rejuve. He's the co-founder of Rejuve AI, which is literally just trying to take AI and use it to help with drug discovery and help with dissecting all of the information about healthcare data sets that we have, because we have a lot of it, we just don't have appropriate AI models. And I was listening to an interview that he did in just this last week over in Token 2049 in Singapore, in which he said that it doesn't matter if you feed more data into a poorly executed AI. It won't do anything. And the way I likened it in my brain is that if you have a stupid person, you can force them to read as many books as you want, and it'll, like, they're gonna get a little bit smarter, but it's not gonna be the same as if you take a really, really smart person and feed them half the books. So you can make an AI, and if the AI is bad at interpreting the data, if the AI is bad, you can feed it with all the data in the world, it'll never give you what you're asking for. I'm sure you guys have experienced this with ChatGPT. It's a good AI, but it's not great, because they're trying to do generalized, not hyper-specific, but that's a different story. So you can, like, give the AI open access, but it doesn't matter if it's bad. So what they're trying to do is make Rejuve AI very good and hyper-fixated on one thing. And I've not done a full analysis into Rejuve. I've just had a dream about it, and then found out yesterday that the person who founded Singularity Net also founded Rejuve. And the discrepancies in market cap is literally 100x, or 2 orders of magnitude. And so I think it's worth paying attention to. And I'm probably gonna end up scooping a bag of it. We'll see after the deep analysis. Be better. No, her name is Dobby now. We have Dobby, we have Jasmine, and we have Ben. Sorry, Dobby. But that's some interesting insight there. Some interesting insight. Today for me is going to be a big editing day, because I got that Dynex interview I want to get out by Saturday. So pay close attention to that. Get ready, because tomorrow we're going to have a fun day. Tomorrow is going to be very fun. Unless any groundbreaking announcements come out, tomorrow is going to be focused on raiding communities to talk about DeSci. We just had that pump, so it should be easy to get people around it. We had a pump and a little bit of a pullback, so we should be able to easily get people to talk about everything. AXGT. The federal fund rates coming down in an hour and a half. Hour and 22 minutes. Debbie enters the chat. RIP. No. If Debbie enters, no offense to any of the founders who may or may not be in this chat, but if one of the founders of a project who should be working right now entered the chat, it'd be kind of bearish. Like, I get it, you're trying to support the live stream creator, the niche, tiny little creator here, but get to work. What are you doing here? I'm not going to tell you anything new. I would love it if Baby got resurrected. I'm down to just go shill Baby. Look at it, I can't even find it. Babby. Okay. I feel like X has one of the search. X has the worst search algorithm on the face of the planet when it comes to anything. X has literally one of the worst search algorithms ever. Like, I follow the baby account. I shouldn't have to go searching like this to find it. Apparently they don't repost anything from it. Probably because they don't like associating with it. Isn't it Get Baby or something? Yeah. Because, listen, the idea was novel, and I wish that it can be resurrected. It's a $35,000 market cap, so for meme coins, it's funny. If anyone's not familiar, the team, some of the team from Athena DAO, which is one of the leading DAOs, biotech DAOs, wanted to join in on the meme coin hype, and so they created Baby on Base. Now, when they initially launched it, they had that huge amount of tax for transactions, which hurt the initial launch. They relaunched it without the taxes so that everyone could come in and just utilize it as what a meme coin should be, which is just a community builder. But you just saw me try and find it, and it's very difficult. You came to their website, and it's not that spectacular. No offense to them, but I've tried to work with them a bunch. But like, even when you're holding Baby in your wallet, you don't see the logo because they didn't actually go and put it out there on the logo. So I've tried so hard to get them to do very key things that I think are important for any kind of coin, especially in meme coin territory, and they just didn't. Now, it's still funny, and the account is still out here posting pretty frequently, but yeah. I still hold mine. Although arguments could be made that I should have sold some at least, because I helped them a lot. I put a lot of my time into trying to help them with this, but it didn't benefit from it. It's okay though. The last thing I would, honestly, for my own reputation, the last thing I want is to have a paper trail of me selling into all of this for you guys to see that oh, I hyped up Baby and then I just dumped. So at least I didn't benefit from it, you know? That's how I rationalize it to myself, at least. I would love for Baby to be reborn. Let's rebirth of Baby. Get Baby, guys. Get Baby on Base. Are they following me? They're not. Motherfuckers. Silver lining logic, you know? You can always find something beneficial to losing money. You guys ready for this tomorrow at 1 p.m.? So immediately after my live stream, when we're done with the raid, we got this very exciting space with Axon. So I think we could see some good price action on Axon. It's just the fucking Fed futures. God damn it. Why are you guys cutting rates? Why are you guys doing this? Damn, that straw is massive AF. Leave me alone. Derek, you are one of the mods. How am I supposed to get a mod to ban you? This is a modestly sized straw. Fuck off. I'm not using an ad blocker. Leave me alone. I don't have an ad blocker on this. Why is everything use an ad blocker? Oh, man. Oh, D-size up. Who bought? Somebody bought. Somebody bought stuff. Make me mod. Don, you are officially mod. Can I get mods on my YouTube? are mod. I guess they are, yeah, huh? How do I make someone a mod on YouTube? We'll just have a chat of mods, because there's 5 of you in here, so all of you guys I think should be mods. Do you need IT support? Click extensions. I bet you do, it's just not showing. I will not be clicking on anything based off of that one time that I clicked on my bookmarks and it scarred me for life here. I will not be clicking on a single thing because I don't know what else I'm gonna find on my computer. Don, I'm not even a mod on YouTube. Hey yo. No. How's Flog doing? Still in my Flog trade. Oof. Oof. You wanna know something? Lucas called me probably 1,000,000 times. 1,000,000's an exaggeration, but Lucas called me 2 days ago. At least 6 times. It might have been even more. It might have been 3 days ago. Trying to get me to buy into Ribbit, this project, this meme coin. And I literally said, leave me alone. I'm not buying any more of your meme coins. You continuously get me to lose money. And look at what happened. From the peak, it's already down 50%. He was relentless, using me as exit liquidity. Who does that to a friend, huh? Go, maybe we raid Lucas's Telegram again. No, I want it to be new. I want it to be new. We should I want to find somebody that we can raid. I'm going to do that the rest of this live stream. You guys can ask some questions. We can do some technical analysis on stuff. We can talk about anything you want to talk about. Maybe I won't go on my X. Maybe I'll do that off camera, actually. I don't really have anything else. So I will be in the Discord and the Telegram, figuring out whose Telegram community or Discord community to raid tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys know I expect you each to show up because it is an important moment in the expansion of decentralized science. Because again, everyone has a role. We have the developers and the company owners and leaders of each one of these projects that we are invested into. Their role and their responsibility is to fund science and build out the technology that can make that capable. Our role is to tell everyone about it. We are the DeSci Shillers, and part of telling everyone about it is going into different communities and just talking about it organically. We can do it online as well, but I find it very effective when we do it in isolated community centers, because then it just feels more organic. Hopefully, you guys are on par with this. Go to CZ jail and interview him. What jail is CZ in? That would be so funny. That would be one of the funniest things ever. Your time is your most valuable asset. Hopefully this was worth investing it into. I appreciate you guys being here with me. And I will see you guys in the Discord right now.